Tonight, we're looking at a story that sits at the very heart of global technology, national security, and immense financial stakes. The American chip giant Nvidia has suddenly stopped making a special computer chip designed just for China. This chip, called the H20, was supposed to be a clever workaround, a way for Nvidia to keep doing business in one of its biggest markets despite tough rules from the United States government. The halt in production sends shockwaves through the tech industry, leaving billions of dollars in orders hanging in the balance, and raising serious questions about the future of United States-China tech relations. It's a complex situation with huge implications for everyone involved. The news broke recently, revealing that Nvidia had quietly told its partners to stop their work on the H20 chip. This wasn't a small request. Amkor Technology, which handles the sophisticated packaging for these chips, Samsung Electronics, a key supplier of the high-performance memory needed for the H20 to function. Even Foxconn was reportedly told to suspend its activities related to the chips. This coordinated pause signals a major disruption, one that goes far beyond a simple manufacturing delay. This move is a stunning reversal of fortune. Not long ago, Nvidia seemed to have found a path forward. The company had successfully lobbied the United States government, securing a deal that would allow it to sell these modified chips to Chinese customers. It was seen as a major victory for Nvidia and its CEO, Jensen Huang, who had argued against strict export controls that were hurting his company's bottom line. The H20 was meant to be the golden ticket. So what exactly is this H20 chip that's causing so much turmoil? In simple terms, think of it as a powerful brain for artificial intelligence. AI models, like the ones that power chatbots or create images, need massive amounts of computing power to learn and operate. The H20 was specially designed as a made-for-China product. It was a strategic compromise, Nvidia's answer to a very difficult problem. The US had banned sales of its most advanced AI chips, like the H100 and the A100, to China. This left a massive hole in Nvidia's business. The H20, the L20, and the L2 were engineered to fit within the rules, offering enough performance for commercial AI tasks without crossing the line into restricted territory. The story took a sharp turn when concerns shifted from Washington to Beijing. While Nvidia was ramping up to sell its new H20 chips, the Chinese government hit the brakes. China's powerful internet regulator, the Cyberspace Administration of China, began summoning the country's biggest tech firms. Tencent, ByteDance, Alibaba. They were called into meetings and asked why they were buying American-made chips. The government wasn't worried about raw power. It was worried about information security. Beijing's core concern: potential hidden backdoors. A backdoor is a secret bypass of security. It allows unauthorized access. Authorities feared H20 chips could contain such vulnerabilities that could let the United States government or other entities spy or access sensitive data. These weren't vague worries. CAC reportedly ordered a suspension of H20 purchases. Faced with these serious accusations from Beijing, Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang publicly pushed back. Speaking at an event in Taipei, Huang made his company's position crystal clear, expressing surprise at China's sudden security concerns.
Recently, China raised questions about security backdoors in our chips. We've made very clear, there are no backdoors, there never have been.
It was a direct and unequivocal denial. The company went further to try and defuse the situation, stressing that the H20 is designed for commercial purposes only. It is not a military product. These chips would not be used to run sensitive government infrastructure. China won't rely on American chips for government operations, just as the US government would not rely on chips from China. Huang's defense underscores the tightrope that Nvidia is walking. To be accused by Beijing of creating a security threat after working for months to satisfy Washington feels like a no-win situation, truly frustrating for any business leader. The financial stakes in this situation are staggering. Before China's security crackdown, Nvidia was on the verge of fulfilling massive orders. More than 1.3 million H20 chips to ByteDance, Alibaba, and Tencent. These orders were worth an estimated $16 billion. Adding complexity is Nvidia's deal with the US government, reportedly agreeing to give Washington a 15% cut of H20 sales to China as part of negotiations to resume selling modified chips. Now that entire framework is at risk. If Chinese companies are barred from buying the H20, there will be no sales to give a cut of. The financial consequences aren't just theoretical, they're already showing up on Nvidia's balance sheet. Nvidia disclosed a massive $4.5 billion write-down on unsold H20 inventory back in May, with sales that would have been $2.5 billion higher without US curbs. So, what happens next? The future for Nvidia in China looks more uncertain than ever. The immediate challenge is the fate of $16 billion in H20 orders. If the Chinese government maintains its stance, these sales are likely lost for good. For Chinese tech companies, this forces acceleration of their search for alternatives. Companies like Huawei are working hard to develop their own AI processors. Projections suggest homegrown Chinese chipmakers could reach 40% market share by 2025. This illustrates a broader trend, the decoupling of US and Chinese tech ecosystems replacing decades of globalized cooperation with two separate spheres of influence. This split creates inefficiencies but is driven by powerful national security interests that override purely economic logic. Ultimately, this story is bigger than one chip or one company. It's about the future of technology and global power. The United States is determined to maintain its technological edge, while China is equally determined to achieve technological independence. The era of seamless tech globalization may be over, replaced by a new, more fractured world where technology and geopolitics are impossible to separate.